Hello, my name is DJ Forever Play, and today on some of my wildlife histories, I want to bring up a somewhat touching subject about the greatness I've witnessed in my life and their tragic downfall. Like certain artists I've seen over the years, they achieve greatness in movies, in television, music, and in sports. And they always succumb to smoking, drugs, alcohol. And I always wonder why. Why? You got so much talent. You fall for these temptations, especially drugs. Like within my life, I witnessed my greatest people that I've used to enjoy listening to. Rick James, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Prince all succumb to drugs. I mean, you can put Ray Charles there, but at least he did his early on, and he had to go through some stuff to actually realize he doesn't want to do this again. And then he became sober. And then eventually he died, I guess, of old age. But when you're at the pinnacle of your success, you shouldn't let anything hamper, any temptations deter you from become more successful and more legendary. I know people can't be all Betty White and live to be 99, but at least she died in peace. I myself find it somewhat odd because I don't have too many addictions. My addictions is like food, like peanut butter, sweet potato pie, strawberries, and things like that. My addictions can be easily controlled, but people who start smoking, like I smoked when I was a teenager, only did it as a social thing because I didn't know exactly what I was doing anyhow, but I smoked and I didn't like it. I didn't like the taste. I didn't like the way my clothes were smelling. And alcohol, I was not an alcoholic. I was like a social drinker. Only when we go out or when I go over to somebody's house. I never kept it in my house. And I never really had a need or urge to drink all the time. And drugs, I never did any hard stuff. Only did like marijuana, maybe ecstasy at one time, but I'm too much of a control freak in which I need to be in control, so I don't really like hard drugs. I don't like needles. I don't like pills. I one time tried morphine when I was in the hospital because I had these phantom pains, and they gave me a morphine drip, and I did not like the way I was feeling because I was not in control. I was really loopy, and I didn't know what was going on. I never again. Never again will I take any hard drugs. I mean, if I'm be on an operation, sure, or whatever, but I won't take any hard drugs. They try to give me some Percocets when I was getting released out of the hospital. I said, I ain't taking that. I ain't taking that. That's a narcotic. I ain't taking that. I want to be in control. That's why I can't see why people who are famous and they reach these pinnacle amounts of success. They're at the top of their game. They can't be in control. They want to take easy ways to relax themselves. Drugs is not to relax yourselves. Alcohol is not to relax yourself. Okay, maybe a sip of wine, but other than that, I don't need it. I don't want it. Or cigarettes. And if you're a singer, cigarettes do more damage to your voice than anything, especially alcohol. I mean, I just finished listening to Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody. I just listened to that and I was like, oh my God, she was so talented. Spectacularly talented. And drugs was her downfall. Michael Jackson. All this talent in the world just succumbing to drugs and alcohol. I wish people will realize what they possess. Even these people in Hollywood. There's all these Hollywood drastic stories about how they're the pinnacle of movie making and they fall for the Hollywood trap. And those Hollywood parties and drugs and other devastating attributes they tend to acquire. Myself, if I am ever become famous in whatever I do, through my voice, through talking, whatever the case may be, ASMR, voice acting, I'm always protecting myself. I'm not trying to be a drug addict. I'm not trying to be an alcoholic. I'm not trying to be a chain smoker. No. I want to be able to be a legend. And there's a lot of things. I mean, when I heard Marvin Gaye got shot by his father, because I remember when he was going through his thing with drugs and alcohol, but he was making a comeback. And the family life was a little tumultuous and rambunctious, and he was killed. I said, wow. Couldn't understand that, but there's a lot of things that I just don't understand. With people on top of their game, people are just clamoring for their autographs and want to take pictures with them, and sometimes you learn the truth about them, and even the truth hurts you more than anything. Like James Brown, I didn't know he was an actual woman beater. He was beating women like crazy. And I said, wow. When I find out the truth about your heroes, they don't seem to be too heroic in your eyes. A lot of times I listen to these videos, people talking about people's histories, and I'm surprised at all the nonsense and all the turmoil they brought upon other people. I mean, wow. Women went through so much abuse and men gave so much abuse because they were high, drunk, and it makes no sense to me. So this is a part of my history. I like when people rise to the top, do whatever they need to do to be successful, and don't fall for the trap of temptation of alcohol and drugs and smoking. And also the athletes. How are you an athlete and you're smoking or drinking or taking drugs? That's nonsense. You need to be as healthy as possible. You need discipline. You need maturity in your mind. And think that to be the greatest, you must act like the greatest. Thank you for letting me share this with you. If you understand what I'm talking about, please leave me a comment. I'd like to hear from you. If you feel the same way I do, there's too many opportunities, too many things that you can do in your life. And no one can stop you but your habits and you. So thank you. Please subscribe to the channel. Like the video. And check out my other channels on YouTube. And have a great day. Bye now.